Yai rai 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 yai rai 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 yai rai 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 Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh Shifti bebet havaya kol yemei chayai lakzot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo lakzot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. Shifti bebet havaya Kol yemei chayai laksod benoam havaya ulevacher behechalo. One thing I ask, one thing I seek, to know that each moment I dwell in the presence of the One. May this guide me all the days of my life. Amen. Welcome back, everybody. I hope there was a good nourishing break. So as we continue, I just want to open up for if there's any questions about practice. You know, if there's a question about the practice, I shared at the end, I just shared how I really noticed that the Rachamim meditation was like really sweet, and the Kitov meditation was really sweet, and I really struggled in the Hineni. I felt like I was opening my eyes every 5 minutes. Is it done? Is it done? Is it done? And it was really just like interesting to notice. And it's not really a question, but I just want to invite that, for us to just, uh, wonder and be curious about the experience for us, with just interest and curiosity, no judgment. But if there is a question about practice, there's a question about practice, about the return, about tshuva, about the breath, or about focusing on the words or the vibrations, please, b'vakasha, it's always helpful. It's always helpful. So if you do have a question, you could unmute or raise your hand, or I can't see everybody, so any questions? I can't tell. All right. Well, this second part of our time together will include another sitting practice. It will include a invitation to take a short walk. There'll be some guidance to take a short walk outside if you so desire, with alternatives if that's not possible. There'll be some time for writing, some written reflection, and then time for to come together in pairs or in small groups, and then to have a closing circle. So that's what we're looking towards in these next couple of hours together. Okay, great. One more time for questions. Want to make sure. Yeah, please, Susan.
Hello, greetings, everyone. So good to be here. What I noticed actually was I struggled with Kitov. I was completely there in the first two sits, lay down, all of that. And what I decided was rather than continue to struggle, I did something else. So I went into meta, but blessings, shalom, chesed, ruach rachamim, and had a moment where I judged myself. Should I really be doing that? And decided no, that was okay to do. So that was my reflection.
Amen, 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 amen. Beautiful, 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 compassionate response to oneself. And also like so great, to catch the judgment, right? To catch the judgment and not to follow that. Amen, amen, amen. Thanks. So, field of Rachamim, calling ourselves present Hineni, listening to Kol Bereshit, the voices, the vibrations from the beginnings, gets us prepared to hear and open to step into the command that sounds throughout Elul and delivers us to the doorway of the new year. Right? This was like we sit in the field of Rachamim with God saying, Hineni, I'm right here. We bring ourselves present, Hineni, here I am. We open to Kol Bereshit, the voices of creation. And then we kind of like, okay, I'm gonna not just feel this, I'm gonna be this, I'm just gonna allow this command. It's a command, whatever that means. It's a deep call that comes through Elul, through Psalm 27, and brings us literally Petach Derek, Petach Hadelek to the threshold of the new year. Kavei el Chavaya, Hazak v'yametz libecha, v'kavei el Chavaya. Hope into the unfolding mystery. Let our hearts be strong and filled with courage. Hope into the unfolding mystery. So for this, we're going to sit into this, and we're going to practice in this sit, opening to the call, the energy, the force, the life force of Tikva, the life force of hope. And I'm just going to kind of repeat what we talked about on Thursday, that Tikva is not an idea. It's not a thought. Tikva is an energy, a life force that enables us to have the faithfulness to see the good in the lands of life, even as we also are aware of the destruction and the violence. Tikva is the force, we can see the good in the face of all it is, not by putting blinders on, but we can see the good in the face of all that is. Tikva is the force that doesn't allow us to become captive to the horrors, doesn't allow the horrors to constrict and take hold and be the king. Tikva is the force that does not allow us to be felled by despair. Tikva is the force that literally raises us up and propels us forward, even when the mind tells us all is lost. Even when the stories of the mind says all is lost, Tikva comes in and lifts us up and propels us forward. It's the force that comes from the cosmos. It's a force that comes from the cosmos that breaks through despair and opens into the realm of possibility not yet conceived or imagined. Tikva reminds us, what we talked about on Thursday, is just because we can't imagine how it could happen does not mean that it could happen. It can't happen. It means that we humans are limited. And Tikva is the force that breaks us open and allows us to stand into possibilities that we have not yet seen. And Tikva, as we looked at when in the beginning of the Torah, in Bereshit, Tikva is a force that gathers the waters together so that there will be dry land. So Tikva is literally this force of creation that gathers us together for the sake of earth, that gathers us together for the sake of creation. And then the mystics add to that Tikva is a cord that connects us to the source, that we can hold on to and that holds on to us when we find ourselves riding the waves of chaos and confusion. Tikva is all this and more. Again, it is a force and energy that lifts us up and propels us forward, even when the mind says all is lost. It's not a fairy tale, and it's not like, saying everything's fine. It is a yes that resounds through creation, a yes that resounds through the trees. It's a force that we are commanded into as we come to the threshold of the new year. And the command from the mystery is to enter the head of the year and to place into the Rosh this awareness, this engagement with Tikva, to allow our souls, our beings to align with Tikva as we come Petach HaDerech at the opening of the path into the new year. And the beautiful, the thing about this, one of the things about this with Tikva is we don't have to create Tikva. We don't have to find it in ourselves. It's a force of the cosmos. And the teaching is, just like with Tshuva, the teaching is, it's a force that's woven into creation. Kaveh el chavaya. It's this command. We're commanded to step into with this force. And what the beautiful thing is here, we don't have to have it fully, and that's all we are, and that's all we feel is Tikva. What the beautiful thing is that it's just asking a slight turn, just a slight turn, a small opening, and then the wind catches our sails. And if the winds catch our sails, and we're lifted and carried by the forces of Tikva. We're lifted and carried by the forces of Tikva. So I want to invite us, and I don't know how this is going to feel. I mean, it's really interesting. I've been surprised by how even as I planned this and sat into it before, I've been surprised about how each part has felt. So it'll be interesting to notice without judgment how this feels. Right? And like Susan said, to make a wise choice for yourself, really to make a wise choice for yourself. First of all, be in a position where there's not strain on the body, and give this a try, right? Give this a try. Kevei el chavaya. Mindy put it into the chat. Maybe Mindy, if you put it in one more time, if you wouldn't mind. I really want, if you know the words, I really want to invite everybody to say it in Hebrew, if you can, in your own being. Kaveh el chavaya. And kaveh, tikva, the command form, hope, el, towards, havaya, the unfolding mystery, the unfolding life force, hope into the unfolding life force. You can for sure say it in English too, if you'd like, for sure. And there's something, vibrationally about the Hebrew that's just so powerful. That's really just so powerful. So let's, and the other thing about Tikva, the other beautiful thing about Tikva, many beautiful things, right? Because the first time it's used, right, it's Rosh, like at the head of Tikva, at the core of Tikva, it's about a gathering together. And so Tikva is like revealed and strengthened through the gathering together, And so before we go into this sit, I know that this is like something we do on our own, but we are gathering by doing this. I want to believe that we are helping gather the forces of Tikva. We are helping gather the forces that will help us as human beings and propel us forward for healing and for goodness, right? We are gathering these forces. So we will be creatures, we will be beings that will help bring healing beyond what we believe even could be possible. And so, again, let's just, see who we're here with. Just, say hi to somebody, just, in the way that we do in the Zoom rooms, but just, say hi to somebody. Just say hi. And, we're gathering together, Likvod, in honor of this moment and in honor of being agents and shliach, shlichim, agents and messengers for Tikva, placing it into the Rosh and aligning ourselves for Tikva, with Tikva, the energy and the force that gathers us together for the sake of Earth, the cord that connects us to the source that we can hold on to and holds on to us as we navigate the waves of this life. And Tikva, the force that propels us forward, helps us stand up and propels us forward, even when the mind says all is lost, the force that brings us into an expanse of possibility not yet seen or imagined. And we come again, the tradition leaves us on the threshold of the new year with this command, Kaveh el Yah, Kaveh el Havaya, hope into the unfolding mystery. So together, let's take our seats. Let's take our seats, being, conscious about our posture, bringing ourselves to an awake and upright posture. With the attention gently on the breath. And if you want, if you want to look at a piece of paper or look at the chat to see the words Kaveh el Havaya. Let's begin together, taking breaths together, and the attention rest on the breath. Kaveh el Havaya. And let this call, let this command travel with the breath, however it aligns with your breath. Kaveh el Havaya. And when the mind drifts away, you notice the mind has wandered. Let's thank ourselves for noticing. Good to notice. Great opportunity to call ourselves back, to hear the call, and to step into the force of Tikva. Kaveh el Havaya. Kaveh el Havaya. Kaveh el Havaya. And we'll sit together for about 20 minutes. Kaveh el Havaya. Hazak v'yemetz libecha. Kaveh el Havaya. Call, a command from the source of all. A call that carries us to Petach HaDerech, Petach HaDelet, the threshold, the opening of the path into the new year. Tikva, into the unfolding mystery, will strengthen and make our hearts courageous. Tikva, into the unfolding mystery. Let us turn together. Let us gather together and open to, align with, step into, receive, be carried by Tikva, the force that gathers us for the sake of earth, the force that propels us forward into the expansive realm of possibility. Kaveh el Havaya, Hazak v'yemetz libecha, Kaveh el Havaya. Amen. Tikva. Tikva is the energy and the force that helps us, right? We looked at Psalm 27, where the verse right before Kaveh al Yah, where it says, Lulei ha'amati derot betuv havaya be'eretz chayim. If only I had the faithfulness in life to see the goodness in the lands of life. If only I had the faithfulness in the lands of life, faithfulness in life itself, in the unfolding. If only I had faithfulness in the unfolding to see the good, the tov, ki tov, the eretz chayim, in the lands of life. And we talked about lulei, which means if only. When we literally turn that word around, it spells elul, the possibility of, yes, I will see the goodness in the lands of life. And to see the goodness in the lands of life, to see the good, is a constant practice, And looking for the good and seeing the good inspires the good to reveal itself. Rabbi Nachman talks about this. When we see the good in each other, we call out the good in each other. When we see the goodness in ourselves, we call out the tov, we call out the goodness in ourselves. When we see the goodness in creation, we call out the goodness in creation. And what he says is Azim Ra, and then we make a beautiful melody. We make a beautiful song with all the goodness that we reveal, with all the goodness that we help come to be by seeing the goodness, It is such a deep and awesome practice to be able to see the good in the mysterious unfolding in the lands of life. And again, Rabbi Nachman's teaching, when we see those nikudot, those sparks of goodness in each other, we help each other shine. When we see those sparks of goodness in ourselves, we help ourselves shine. And when we join that with the sparks of goodness in creation, Azim Ra, we make this beautiful music that resounds in the Olam. So we're going to invite ourselves into seeing the good practice for about 20 minutes or so. If you are at a place where you can take a little walk outside, if you feel able to, you don't have to it's not a fast walk. It's a walk maybe around the block, or not even around the block. It's a walk, just a little bit, just a short walk. And if walking outside is not something, feels like good for you to do right now, then maybe sit by a window, maybe take a moment and sit by a window. And I invite us to really a mindfulness walk. We're not trying to get anywhere. And to walk slowly and see and name the good, like very elementary, to see and name the good. There's a cherry tree, right? like right by my house. And the way it is, it's like the way the branches go out, it like feels like a chest, like there's this chest there. And oftentimes when I sometimes walk by it without noticing, but sometimes I go by and I just like, oh my God, that cherry tree is like looking to hug me, and I just like, I give the cherry tree a hug, man. It's so cool. And just to like see the good and name the good. Wow, it's so good. It's so good. And to say thank you, to say thank you, to see the good, to name the good by saying thank you to the tree, to the grass, to whatever you see outside, or if you feel like, to be inside, then look up. I have this beautiful feather. I have this nice turtle that, a little turtle that, a turtle little sculpture that somebody gave me. It's beautiful. A picture of an owl my son took. Kitov, it's beautiful. It's good. So to see the good and to say thank you, really, to see the good and to say thank you. A short walk, an easy walk, gentle and kind. If walking is not a good thing for you to do, look out a window or, look around your room, take a little walk around your house and say thank you, right? We have running water. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a foundation under my feet in my house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's windows for the air to come in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So a short walk, a look out the window, a walk around the house. To see the good, to see the good in this unfolding mystery. So we will be the good, be'eretz chaim, in the lands of life. So we'll take this time now. It's like a minute before the hour. We'll come back. It'll take a little time. Let's be back sitting at 25, at 25 after the hour. So it might mean like come back a little bit before that, a little bit before, 22 after the hour, 23 after the hour. So we can begin it at 25 after the hour. We're gonna do a little writing when we come back. So come back with paper and something like that. So let's say we'll be back like at 23 after the hour. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but you know what I'm saying. And that way we could begin at 25 after the hour. To see the good in the lands of life and to say thank you. See you guys soon.